Once upon a time, there was an unknown person named Zephyr. Zephyr was a mysterious figure, known for his strange and peculiar habits. No one knew where he came from or what his background was. He simply appeared in town one day, and began to make a name for himself with his odd behavior. Zephyr was a recluse, spending most of their time holed up in an old abandoned mansion at the edge of town. The mansion had been deserted for years, and many people in the town had forgotten that it even existed. But Zephyr had taken up residence there, and turned the mansion into a strange and eerie home. No one knew what Zephyr did in the mansion, but rumors swirled that he conducted strange experiments and rituals, and that the mansion was haunted by spirits and ghosts. Some even claimed that Zephyr had made a deal with the devil himself, and that he was a dark and powerful sorcerer. Despite his reclusive nature, Zephyr was known to make occasional appearances in town, and when he did, he always turned heads. He wore a long, flowing black robe, and a wide-brimmed hat that obscured his face. He never spoke to anyone, but simply went about his business, which usually involved buying strange and exotic items from the local shops. Zephyr's strange behavior only added to his mystique, and many people in the town began to see him as a sort of enigmatic hero. They believed that Zephyr was some sort of savior, coming to protect them from the evils of the world. But as time went on, Zephyr's behavior became even stranger. He began to collect strange and unusual objects, such as bones, insects, and other oddities. He also started to perform strange rituals in public, drawing the attention of the townspeople. The townspeople became increasingly wary of Zephyr, and some even started to believe that he was dangerous. They began to avoid Zephyr, and rumors started to spread that he was planning something sinister. But no one ever found out what Zephyr was really up to. He disappeared just as suddenly as he had appeared, leaving behind only rumors and speculation. Some said that he had died, others said that he had simply moved on to another town. But the truth remained unknown, and Zephyr remained a strange and mysterious figure in the minds of the townspeople. Despite Zephyr's disappearance, his legend continued to grow in the town. People began to tell stories about the strange occurrences that happened after his departure, such as inexplicable noises in the old mansion or sightings of Zephyr's dark robes moving about the town. The townspeople also began to realize that Zephyr had left behind a large collection of his strange objects, which they had apparently amassed over the years. Some were tempted to explore the abandoned mansion and search for the objects, but most were too afraid to venture near the spooky old building. Years went by, and the town gradually forgot about Zephyr. However, there were a few die-hard fans who continued to believe that Zephyr was still alive and well, continuing his strange pursuits in some far-off location. Then, one day, a new stranger arrived in town. He was dressed in a similar style to Zephyr, with a long black robe and a wide-brimmed hat that obscured his face. However, this stranger was different. He was friendly and outgoing, and seemed to genuinely want to get to know the people in the town. Over time, the townspeople began to realize that this new stranger was not Zephyr, but a new person altogether. They grew fond of the stranger and welcomed them into the community. But then, one day, the stranger disappeared. Just like Zephyr, he left no trace, no explanation, and no clues as to their whereabouts. And once again, the town was left to wonder about the true nature of these mysterious strangers. Some believed that the stranger was actually Zephyr, who came back to the town in a new guise. Others thought that he was simply another weird and enigmatic figure passing through. But one thing was clear: the legend of Zephyr lived on, and the town would always be a little bit strange and mysterious as a result. As the years went by, the town grew and changed. New people moved in, and old residents passed away. The stories of Zephyr and the stranger faded into the background, replaced by more pressing concerns. But then, one day, a strange occurrence caught the attention of the townspeople once again. A group of teenagers had snuck into the abandoned mansion, hoping to find some spooky thrills. But instead, they found something even more frightening: the remains of Zephyr's collection of strange objects. The teenagers were spooked by what they found, and quickly left the mansion. But news of the discovery quickly spread, and soon the whole town was buzzing with excitement. People began to speculate about what the objects could mean, and what sort of person would have collected such strange and creepy things. As the town became obsessed with the discovery, a new stranger arrived in town. This person claimed to have known Zephyr, and said that he had some insight into the collection of objects. He claimed that Zephyr had been a collector of rare and unusual artifacts, and that the objects in the mansion were simply part of their vast collection. The stranger's claims were met with skepticism by many in the town, but others were intrigued by the possibility of learning more about Zephyr and his strange ways. Slowly but surely, the town began to embrace the stranger, and even started to look to them as a sort of expert on all things weird and mysterious. Over time, the stranger became a fixture in the town, and people started to seek him out for advice on everything from ghost stories to superstitions. And while the true nature of Zephyr and his collection of objects may have remained a mystery, the town was content to let the stranger's tales and advice fill the void. After all, what's a town without a little bit of mystery and intrigue? The conclusion of the story is that there is often a sense of fascination and intrigue when it comes to people who are enigmatic and mysterious. Whether it's the legendary figure of Zephyr, the stranger who arrived in town, or the collection of strange objects left behind, the town was captivated by the mysteries that surrounded them. At the same time, the story also highlights the dangers of becoming too obsessed with the unknown. The townspeople were so fascinated by Zephyr and his collection that they lost sight of the present and the people around them. It was only when the teenagers found the collection that the town was forced to confront the reality of what had been lost in their pursuit of the unknown. Overall, it reminds us that while it's natural to be curious about the unknown, we shouldn't let that curiosity overtake our lives. We should also remember to value the people and things that are right in front of us, rather than becoming obsessed with what's beyond our reach. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel for more meaningful videos and to improve your English.